You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 442 of East Central's favorite podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrell, joined by executive video producer, audio engineer, Mr. Zach Burcham.
Good evening.
We have just spent some time in Patreon lighting up your insides. I thought you would have more fire in your belly after what we just did to you, but you sound dead and broken.
I'm trying. It's been a long week, and I'm halfway done.
It's already Wednesday night.
Yep.
We're here a day early or a day late, depending upon which score you keep. Mr. Bones still found his way into the studio on a Wednesday evening. Thanks for being here.
Good evening.
You are more excited. You're thrilled because you are looking a vacation right in the eye.
Yeah,
right in the eye.
we're getting out of here.
That's good. Thanks for the invitation. I appreciate it.
Welcome.
This show is about our lives in rural Indiana. We're here to push your boundaries and make you think as individuals. Sometimes we'll provoke you, other times make you laugh, but hopefully you'll always learn something new. We have a fun little show planned today. A couple political things we're going to get to at the beginning, but mostly it's going to be some fun. Man, I'm really stuck on the Patreon stuff. We ate some hot stuff.
It was a hot
We
one.
ate some hot stuff, and it snuck up on me, and it's still continuing.
We got the best of both worlds. We went sweet, and then we went spicy.
Yeah. Check out patreon.com/Boss Hog of Liberty to be a part of that. You get the fun bonus content. The show notes are dropped into a special secret Facebook group each and every week for you over there. And if you are a $50 a month or more contributor, you get a little special mention here at the beginning of the episode. Now, Mr. Bones, you had an in-person review of your efforts last week.
Yes, I did.
So
We're going to try.
Pressure is on. Let's see you do it.
Well, I mean, the special people really are Jonathan Phillips over at Ed Martin Honda in Indianapolis, Blake Reese over at Varsity Outfitters, Tommy Oakes over there at Walnut Ridge RV, Pops Recycle. He's working on tandem bikes, I think, next.
Really?
Yes.
You got one for you and your special lady friend?
No. We would never get along well enough to do it.
Do you think you could put her in a sidecar bike?
Maybe can I fit in the sidecar at she pedals?
Are your
allowed?
legs? I don't know what it would do with your legs. You have to go all Lieutenant Dan to get you into a sidecar.
Do I get ice cream? But the big one, moral monument cleaning. They don't clean dead people; they just clean their headstones.
Good job. You're so proud of yourself. Last week, when the pressure was on, you did the best read you've ever done. That's what she thought.
I mean, when she's sitting right next to you, staring, giving you that glare. You know the glare.
I've known it for 42 years.
Yeah.
Thanks to them each and every week for every month for their continued support to the program. Without the patrons, this show would not exist, and we are eternally grateful. We try to have some fun with them, and as people join that, they become closer and closer to us, and the relationships we form are really fun.
Thanks for the snacks this week, guys.
Yeah,
really appreciate that one.
And we do we do try to help promote their businesses and send folks their way and build the Boss Hog community. Last week we kind of touched on an issue around Knightstown. And a special election that might be coming. It's looking more and more likely. To refresh everybody's memory, Wayne Township is the township that Knightstown is inside of. It's the first time that we've had town elections in this cycle. They aren't their own special election. Now they are with all of the other off-cycle elections. Man, that Patreon snack, man. I'm telling you, we are going to make it, but this could take some time.
Just bear with us, guys. All right, just bear with us. We'll get through it.
I raided the fridge.
You did. You looked long and hard.
I raided the fridge, and I found a hidden surprise. It was the Shake Up Bubbly Cocktail from the Newcastle on Tap.
Yeah.
It's a cranberry cocktail. So
Probably not going real well.
imagine putting 12 ounces of cranberry cocktail in with the hot stuff from Patreon.
Yeah.
And you can understand the acid fight that's happening inside of the old the stomach.
Do we need some Tums?
I might have to go. We're gonna DoorDash some
anybody
Tums.
who wants some run some Tums by the studio.
A couple extra Prilosec. I don't know.
Just a bottle of Pepto.
That's for later. We sacrifice our bodies on this show.
No one says
for the good of
Jared
the patrons.
doesn't lay it out on the line for you.
It's like Marvin Harrison against the Titans with the laid out one hand catch from Peyton Manning for 55 yards down the middle. So anyway, Knightstown Town Council and Town Clerk Treasurer race. Everybody in the township got to vote in that. If it wasn't a close race, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But the incumbent lost by 3 votes. And God only knows how many people actually voted that shouldn't have been allowed to vote.
Now it's an issue.
They can't isolate individual voters that should have or should not have voted because you don't put your name on your ballot. They all just go in.
We'll get through. I swear.
Oh my!
Hold on. Jared's how's
the cough button over there, Mr. Zach?
Oh, I don't have a cough button over here.
Crickets. You've got crickets. You could have done. You could have done something.
I had that stuff turned down because of the music. But I got a rim shot for the next time you complain about it. It was your snacks. You brought the snacks.
I don't shop for the snacks. I've got a sneezing attack coming on, so you guys are really gonna have to be
You
ready.
have to take
Yeah.
I do have a new sound bite that we've highlighted. It's very quick, and she's not going to be happy about it. But I told her when she said it that I was going to do this, so we have Betsy on the soundbar now. Oh, wrong button.
Just love to raise taxes.
Yeah, let's turn this up.
Just love to raise taxes.
Well, they're going to have to raise taxes to pay for the special election in Knightstown.
Yeah.
So supposedly it was a software issue.
So apparently it is a software issue. Nobody was at fault.
Was this not like a Robin Williams movie?
It sounds, honestly, I was describing it to somebody from out of town, and I was saying, well, we went, this is kind of like a voters, like a little bit of an issue when you have like the voting centers. Because didn't you say there used to be like 41 different voting sites?
Correct.
And they were based on where you live. So,
and every precinct would have a special ballot for
in
them.
every ballot. So you stop and think we have 12 voting centers, but in theory, 41 different ballots. And I'm assuming that somebody has to go through and manually set some kind of... 82. Oh, because it's Republican and Democrat.
Yes.
So then I'm assuming that there's some coding there's if-then statements that are being put on. If this person's address is in this whatever, it presents these options, and something got messed up in there and allowed certain races to show up on ballots it shouldn't have been. So it's not. I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often. Given the fact that just the sheer volume of ballots that they had to have in the system.
Stay tuned. Mr. Bones, if we do have a special election, do you want to go cover it and see how many people vote, and if we can do an exit poll?
I can't get there from Rushville. Remember, the bridge is out.
Well, we might have to take a wagon and caulk it.
I think the canoe.
Use one of those Batesville chickens to...
No, the Batesville's got the caskets.
Oh, what, Brookville?
Yeah. Brookville's got the...
We could borrow a casket from Batesville and cross the river.
Stuff it with chickens and cross the river.
There's got to be a way across the Big Blue River. Kayak, we could yak it.
I mean, I guess I could go up to 9 and come over on 40.
I mean...
Or 3?
Get you on an airplane.
But I think you guys pay me by the mile.
He's getting paid.
He's going to 465 on 74.
Yeah.
He's going to go down to Greensburg,
yeah,
74 to 4.
Took all interstate, guys.
We're going to 270 around Columbus, Ohio.
You know what that would be? How much more smooth of a drive would that be to cut that out? And
the very beginning and the very end of would be a rocky road.
My sinuses are going through all of the seasons over here as we sit here today.
Well, anybody
with the Tums, can they stop buying it Benadryl?
We're going to get some Claritin, some Benadryl, little Mucinex, all of the things. We have never covered the Newcastle Historical Preservation Committee in the history of this program, 442 episodes.
You know what? Let's start.
They had a meeting Monday night, Tuesday night of this week. All of these meetings are YouTube streamed. And I had somebody text me, it's like, it is going down right now at the city council meeting. And I'm like,
It said no one
What?
ever.
What are you talking about?
Anybody have that on their bingo card?
So I have to ask, you watched live?
So I tuned in. I joined in progress. I gypped it.
How many viewers at the time?
7.
which is
probably a lot.
Probably
for
high.
the historical preservation. That is like them having their sheriff's night.
There's 2 people plus the word is getting out that things are going down.
So there are 7 people watching live. Unfortunately, somebody in shock that there were this many people watching the video. 1.5 hour meeting. I had to watch it 3 times to understand what the hell was going on in bits and pieces. And then I died of boredom twice while trying to watch it because, let me tell you, they deal with some tough subjects. The camera got bumped at one point, so about 30% of the video is aimed at like
the ceiling tiles,
and a projection screen. It wasn't showing a projection.
The top 18 inches of the wall
of the city chambers. The meeting started with the Elks Lodge asking permission to replace some windows. Now, the meeting was Monday night. Being the connoisseur of tacos that I am, and a reporter for this show, it was Taco Tuesday at the Elks Lodge. So I went to the Elks Lodge Tuesday night. And
the meeting was Monday.
But
you went to the Elks.
And this is Wednesday today. So I went to the Elks.
You went for tacos and tea
in search of a story and tacos. So I saw Paul, who was the previous exalted ruler of the Elks Lodge. He's the PER, as they say in the business. And he was the guy that gave the presentation. And apparently, the Elks Lodge had a couple of windows that rotted out last year over the winter. They were wooden. The building is 100 and some years old. It's in a historical district as this building is. So they got in trouble because they replaced them because they were rotting. They just went out and got 2 vinyl windows. Don't do that.
No.
They don't like that. This committee does not like that sort of a thing. So they didn't come in before them. So now they're trying to replace the rest of the windows in the building. They spent a good 20 minutes debating what type of window would be allowed. They would prefer wood. The next list on the preferred list is wood wrapped by aluminum. And then aluminum is next on the list. And then vinyl is the do not do it list. Because those are cheaper and they don't look good and they're not period correct. Ultimately, they said, okay, you can do a combination of wood and wrapped aluminum. Those are a little more expensive. And then just aluminum ones in areas that aren't as
prominent
visible
to the public.
Yes. Upper level,
I'm kind of surprised
hidden from the road, et cetera, et cetera.
I'm going to learn. I have many questions about how this all works.
So that happens. And then somehow the conversation turns into some discussion around fees that are charged by this organization. And apparently they hadn't been charging fees. But then they did start, yes, a COA, certificate of authorization, maybe. I don't know. And it was like $25. I don't know where the money goes. Probably to potholes or something. I looked, best I could tell, this board is entirely volunteer. I don't think anybody's getting paid. No. They're in it for the love of the game. There's this discussion around fees, and then 2 board members resign because they have quarrels with the way things are going. And the mayor is in attendance. I took notes, guys.
For those who want to go back and watch the video, I think things start to get spicy a little after the 40-minute mark.
Yeah, 44 minutes and 12 seconds in is the resignation of board member and treasurer Patty Broyles. 46 minutes and 52 seconds in is the next member resignation, the secretary, who I thought was named Kathy, but I checked the website. The city has not, this board is forgotten on the city website. 2013 is the last time something was updated on the website for this board. So I don't know who the members are or are not, but I did my best. But I thought the name was Kathy, but Zach, you think it was somebody else?
I think it's her name's Valerie. I think she's a frequent visitor of city council meetings.
Okay. So two members resigned. At that point, the mayor basically says, if anybody wants to continue serving this board, you need to send a letter in, and he indicated that he would be disbanding the board. That was the mayor's new plan or his intention. He had talked to the city attorney ahead of this. So I think that my best guess is that they knew that these resignations were coming. So there are layers that I think go back to beyond what you can just see in the meeting. Dave Nance, the president of the board, then started his response. And then the mayor, I did write this down in quotes, in the 15 years, he has never seen a single person come to me with a pleasant experience before this board, which is a fiery language for a volunteer board. I don't know. I don't know where it's going. I don't know if they're all out, if they're going to start over, if this is going to turn into anything or not. But for a Monday night in May, man, there were fireworks at the Newcastle Historic Preservation Committee meeting.
Yeah, I've never heard of any dysfunction out of that group. I know they exist. I know Mr. Nance, the president. I know he's been the president for quite a while.
And I think he had indicated he'd been on the board for about 20 years. The mayor's been around for 15. He's serving his fourth term as mayor. Nance did say, look, this is a tough board to serve on. We have to say no a lot.
Yeah, that board's job is to tell most people is their job. No,
HOA. Correct?
It's kind of like it, but it's they have a purpose, and their purpose is to maintain a certain image for the downtown. And the curious thing I found is the Elks in particular. The Elks is a very old building, partially. It's an old house with this not at all, obviously pre this group existing restaurant built on the side of it, which that part doesn't meet any kind of historical code to me. It's interesting architecture. I would be frustrating.
It's 50s malaise.
It's like
glass block, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's not quite. It's what they didn't even go glass block. But if people say there's a huge window in the front of the restaurant, but it's behind.
There's some lattice or
these
something.
These decorative stone, lattice things that probably seem to me more like 50s, 60s kind of thing. It would be frustrating if you're down there. You want to do something, you can't do what you want, but at the same time, I kind of get it. But for that purpose, they probably tell a lot of people, no, you can't do that. You have to spend more money to do what we allow you to do.
They spent a lot of time and effort trying to figure out what they could do, what they couldn't do. And it felt to me watching the meeting that there's a lot of gray area, and there's a board of 5 or 7 people that are all trying to interpret the gray areas of what is preferred, what is not allowed, which is the best thing to use versus the financial realities of something like the Elks, which is a nonprofit. So stay tuned.
Yeah, I think there is a lot of work though. This is one of those things where it'd be interesting to get somebody in here who could. Jeremiah's coughing his season is rubbing off on me. To go into the intricacies of how all that works, because I know there's also
try some of the cranberry shake-up and see if that fixes it.
Because I know there's also a lot of efforts with downtown to get those property owners matching funds, grants, and a lot of financial assistance in fixing buildings up. And I'm assuming then to help keep them in the zone of what the Historical Preservation Committee wants them to look like. So, yeah. For Newcastle, we haven't seen that kind of craziness since like a Memorial Park Board meeting a couple of years ago.
Voices were elevated.
Yeah.
I guess we could move the Doughboy downtown. That'd probably be Historical Society.
Bones just keeps lobbing grenades, man.
Aren't you leaving town?
I am.
He does every day right after the show. He lobs grenades and he leaves town.
He's not from here.
Just fire shots and run away.
You're going to take a road trip?
I am. I'm going on a road trip. We're going to South Carolina.
Summer starts when the kids are out of school. The kids are almost out. You're going to South Carolina. How many hour drive is this journey?
My phone says 11.
Okay.
I haven't driven this far in a long time.
So you're nervous about this?
I'm real nervous. I don't know what I can do to keep myself entertained.
I've done 17, what I think is, let's see what Google Maps says.
It's probably been 12 years since I drove Grandma down to
What's your
Fort
route?
Myers.
Do you know your route, generally?
The best route
US 52.
Take Knoxville and then cut over.
Well, one of the things that'll be entertaining to see then is east of Knoxville. East Knoxville is where that road got wiped out.
Yeah.
If it's all washed out or not.
But I drove through it a couple of years ago, last year, and it wasn't bad to drive through. But it's pretty interesting to see, like, oh, there used to be a road here, and there's nothing. There's a hole there.
I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning, South Dakota time, maybe 3 o'clock in the morning, and I left Keystone, South Dakota, the Palmer Gulch KOA, which is essentially right behind Mount Rushmore National Memorial, and drove all the way back to Newcastle, Indiana, and returned a rental car, and the rental car was returned before midnight. That is, as Google Maps says, 1,148 miles door to door. And I did that without a real rest. I think I had lunch in Des Moines, Iowa.
Oh.
I think you can do it without any hesitation. There's no need for anything more than a couple bathroom breaks, a couple fuel stops, and maybe a Buc-ee's sandwich.
Here's the thing. We can't get into the house until 4 on Saturday. I am also picking my cousin up at Savannah Airport at 5. So that's the really thing we have to be is at Savannah Airport at 5 to pick up my cousin.
I mean, you drove all day. If they wait 20 minutes, what the hell do you care?
I get it. We volunteered to pick her up. So we're thinking about leaving Friday night. So then I looked at like hotels like around Knoxville. Something must be going on in Knoxville because they wanted like $300.
I think hotels have gotten expensive unless you kind of look. Yeah.
I mean, these were like
I haven't stayed in a hotel.
I normally stay at this is me. I normally stay at the Hampton Inn at Farragut, which is a little west of Knoxville, just a touch.
Okay.
But still
I was thinking maybe trying to make it to Asheville.
Yeah.
That was my...
Are there any hotels still standing in Asheville?
There have to be by now.
I think so. She said something maybe like stopping at the Biltmore and going through it. I was like, well, if you want to, we can. If not, then we'll wait.
I do a similar drive every year because it's kind of odd with the way the coastline works. Somewhere in the Carolinas, North Carolina, it starts to cut back.
Yeah.
So even as you go farther south, the drive doesn't really get any longer. As a matter of fact, your drive is a bit shorter than my drive to North Carolina. And on the way down, we do break it up into 2 days, although we have a break day in the middle, but that's because we have friends down there. So we stay with them and have a pool day. But on the way back, we do it in a shot because straight through. But it's not too bad. Yeah, breaking it up, going down. I'm assuming Asheville is in pretty good shape now because we're like, 2 years on from that? And the Biltmore, I've never been to the Biltmore. I've got a friend who loves the Biltmore and thinks it's fantastic. And so that'd be a worthwhile thing. I think Asheville is a pretty cool town.
I've never been. It's on the hit list for us. North Carolina and South Carolina are the two states that are completely blind spots to me. I've never been.
Okay. Our family used to do North Carolina every year. Holden Beach. I think it's an hour north of Myrtle. And then the year prior, we went to the Outer Banks. And that was like a 14-hour drive to the Outer Banks.
Yeah, it's in like Wilmington, those 11 and a half. Yeah. So it's like, but that's farther south. But yeah, because that far out, North Carolina sticks farther out into the ocean kind of thing. And so then it starts to cut back.
We flew on that one and we flew into Baltimore and then flew down to, Wilmington?
Yep. Sounds familiar.
That was the shortest plane ride I have ever been on. That was a whole 30 minutes in the air.
Indianapolis to Cincinnati is my shortest commercial flight I've ever taken.
Who did that?
Delta.
Wow.
That was a Delta flight.
Where are you ending up in South Carolina?
Hilton Head.
I've heard of it. Never been there.
Bringing golf clubs?
They'll go with me.
All right. So you like to snack on these journeys?
Here's the thing. I'll start eating and I just won't stop, like candy-wise. So I'll have the peach rings. You ever seen those?
Yeah.
Those are my favorite.
Okay.
I'll eat a whole bag of those.
Boy, he's going to be pissed when he finds out the snack that I left over there on the other side.
That's all right. She's supposed to pick up snacks tonight at Walmart, so hopefully she got those.
So you guys leave tomorrow or Friday?
We're going to leave Friday night.
All right. So you got 48 hours. We got 40 hours to plan this.
Yeah.
My go-to is like cured meats. Like the snack packs that are like meat, chicken and or like
Beef jerky?
Yeah, they're like the little cheese and
Oh,
like
the
pepperoni.
Lunchables.
But it's prepackaged, like it's a protein pack kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah, there's like,
It's
my wife gets those too. They're like little, it's like, it looks like they're packaged usually like, look like Lunchables, but they're smaller, but it'll be like, there's something you can get there like nuts and cheeses
You get
and
nuts
stuff
and
like
cheese
that.
or nuts and berries, that kind of a thing.
Sorrento.
That's the sketchiest part of your drive is Atlanta, isn't it?
You don't have to go that far.
I don't have to go to Atlanta. I mean, we could. I think it adds like 40 minutes on, or we could go through Charlotte and that adds like another hour.
So you go, okay. Looks like a 75 hooks right into 16 at Macon and cut across to Savannah.
That's what I thought about doing that. I wanted to go through Augusta, but I was going to add like 2 hours to our trip.
I love road trip planning is a good time.
I used to, and then I figured out flying is so much easier and faster. And
it actually does add 40. Oh, because 75 goes so far west.
yeah,
75 goes all the way over to Chattanooga, and then you come all the way back east to Atlanta.
West to Nashville, because Nashville's actually...
Nashville is not on 75.
no, Nashville's on 65.
This is the route it's got going. What's it got going in the middle there then?
Is it going to route you through Evansville because of I-69 now? It's one of your alternate routes.
Mid-States corridor.
It's going like 65 to Nashville, getting on 24. That's wonky.
Whoa. We're not trying to add a lot of miles here. Gas is expensive.
Yeah, Knoxville's not too bad to go down through, and that looks like I bet Columbia is not too bad either.
I'm all for building roads. I think we should build a road straight from Knoxville to Greenville down to Charleston.
Let's do it.
It's a new superhighway.
So, I mean, you
right
guys
through
do,
Appalachia.
You guys do the road trips every year. I mean, you drive to Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
And then Zach, you're always...
North Carolina.
Yeah. So do we do music or podcast or...
Podcast.
A lot of times I just have nothing because I've got other people in the car that have no interest in what I'm listening to. I also drive old cars, so I can't like Bluetooth anything in. Once in a while, I'll throw an earbud in and try and keep up with podcasts. I won't do music because if I'm doing music, I would rather have like both earphones in. I don't want to drive with. I'm always driving.
I will do. So Thanksgiving is the perfect time for this, but Dinner with Racers usually drops at Thanksgiving, and the family all tolerates my motorsports stuff, but they actually like it. So I will selectively find new episodes of Dinner with Racers on our Thanksgiving trip to Georgia, and those are nice, like hour and a half, 2 hour long deals, which work really well for a road trip where it's like, hey, you get into the story, everything flows, and you're done. So I think it's
they normally drop around that time of year, don't they?
It's exactly when they come out.
They'll drop them like the Wednesday before Thanksgiving because they know like road trip time.
They're fresh. Because the busiest travel day of the year is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But I think that a road trip, as long as you and your travel companions can listen to the same things, are the perfect time for a long form podcast, whether it's an interview or like a story, even a book on tape.
We did a book on tape to St. Louis and back, and that was delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be one that's written, like, it's got to be one that everybody's into.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I
my
think
problem
it was
with
Anthony Bourdain.
My problem with a book on tape is that if you can't finish it, then you're you can't finish it together. It's all weird. And it's like, you never get back to it.
Yeah.
But if you've got enough time and you're committed to it, a book on tape is a sleeper pick here. But I really like an hour and a half to 2 hour, maybe even a 3 hour podcast of like a series of them, or if there's something in your backlog, this is your chance to get it.
Yeah. And our music tastes are kind of the same, but like for the last 8 months, I don't know where this came from. Like I have been on a Grateful Dead kick. And then, I mean, you put a Grateful Dead album on, you could get all the way to probably Knoxville.
You need a Meyer Shank Grateful Dead t-shirt from the track.
They have them?
They had a Grateful Dead car.
They ran a Grateful Dead. They're
little gummy bears. Something about gummy bears. They got gummy bears t-shirts.
It's dancing bears.
Whatever.
It's the dancing bears.
Yeah.
You never seen the dancing bears? It's fun. What's really interesting is the stuff that Jeremiah knows so much.
Yeah.
about so much.
And there's
And
like
then there's random
lots of
things that he
blind
doesn't know
spots.
about
Nope.
golden Oreos or the dancing bears.
Nope.
So like, you don't see it as much anymore because the Grateful Dead obviously aren't around as much anymore.
Jerry
but like,
Garcia has been dead since
but
like
they're-
1996.
the two main stickers you saw on the back of a car were the skull with the red and blue and the lightning bolt.
Lightning bolt.
And then you saw across the back window, you'd see the dancing bears. And so it's these like 4 or 5 little bears, and they're like different colors and also you could see all these Deadhead shirts. The Deadhead, I had a bunch of Deadhead shirts as a kid because my parents thought it was hilarious. And you picture any scenario you could ever come up with in your brain, and there's a tie-dye shirt with dancing bears doing it.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with music. They're playing soccer. They're doing whatever.
Here's the thing. If you put it on a tie-dye shirt, I just immediately dismiss you as a hippie and I move on. Or you're Rupert.
I had a bunch of those. My parents thought, I don't know what they were thinking, but I had a bunch of tie-dye Deadhead shirts when I was a kid.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. They're probably still somewhere. So those are Dancing Bear shirts. I'm disappointed. Yes, so Meyer Shank has a SiriusXM sponsorship, and one of the things that they've done that's kind of cool is that for different artists that have their own channels, they will do a livery for that channel. So they've done a Grateful Dead car, which was tie-dye. They've done an Ozzy Osbourne car. And for the month of May, somewhat disappointingly, although the car doesn't look too bad, they're doing a Morgan Wallen car.
Ew. Oh, I saw that.
And it's kind of like a desert tan.
It got wrecked early.
It got wrecked early. But that's the same livery.
They're running it for the 500 as well.
And I'm really disappointed in that livery being a 500 livery because it looks kind of cool, but it doesn't like pop. And for the 500, they should have a livery that pops.
I dig it.
But Morgan Wallen was in concert in Indianapolis last
Yeah.
weekend, so that was kind of a good tie-in.
I didn't realize he did 2 nights, though.
Yeah.
He did Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah.
A bunch of the drivers went to the concert. So I was unaware of the
dancing bears.
The dancing bear.
So they
thing.
do sell a shirt that's a dancing bear shirt.
They're all wearing racing helmets.
It's
in the,
white and it's not tie-dye.
Yeah.
It needs to be tie-dye.
That shirt doesn't really pop.
And then they have
Yeah.
the skull with the lightning bolt, and it's like red or blue on one side and checkered flag on the other.
Yep.
Yeah, we found the Styled Aesthetic website. So if you're following along in the car, feel free to do
But the
this while
shirts
you're
are really.
driving.
I was like, oh, like my mom would like the shirt because in the Speedway almost always sells a tie-dye event shirt.
Yeah. But so
Oh, Jeremiah just dismisses anybody. Well, if you see somebody in like the hemp hoodie, like the Baja thing, you dismiss them too.
They just go to Bill Levin's church.
I had one of those as a kid too. We got refused.
They're members of the First Church of Cannabis. I guarantee it.
I have never smoked or anything, and I had one as a kid. I'll tell you what is funny though is we went to a restaurant.
No, but your parents probably did.
We went to a restaurant with those on one time, and it was the only time we've ever been to this restaurant. And they're like, "You need to pay first." And they made us pay before they served our food, and it was like Bob Evans or something.
So was your parents Deadheads?
I think they went to a couple concerts, but I don't think that they were like. They never chased him around or anything.
Yeah.
Would they get you and your brother the exact same gift?
No.
You wouldn't get the same T-shirt, one for each of you?
Oh, no, there was a store in Brown County that we'd go into and we'd pick our own out.
Okay. All right.
They sold the Baja things and they sold a bunch of tie-dye shirts. The Pitbull is a biker / Deadhead shop.
But no, I thought about waking up like 5 a.m. and just starting to drive from there.
We used to, our deal when I was a kid was we get up and we leave like 6:30. 6:30. And then we got older, we actually left earlier because it was easier to get us out of bed. And so that's what now we don't leave that early because this is embarrassing. I'm old enough that the interstate system there's like been a significant development in getting to where we go. They've built more interstates since I was a kid. And so what used to be a 14 to 18 hour drive can now be done in like 12 to 15.
Bones, do you know what year they functionally just declared the interstate system to be complete? The U.S. government said we've completed the Eisenhower interstate system.
96.
You want to guess, Zach?
I mean, there's part of it they're still building along where, so I would.
They're still building interstates.
Yeah, they're still building, but
their declaration of like we did it.
No,
we did it, guys. It's complete.
74,
1992.
Ooh, Bones was close.
He was very close.
Nice.
Bones was very close.
Very close.
But there's a highway that goes across southern Ohio that was 2 lanes when I was a kid and is now almost entirely 4-lane highway and is slowly being converted. And there's still a road that I drive on, and for the entirety of my life, it says this is the future I-74 corridor, and it's in North Carolina. It's not here. So I don't know how they're going to connect them.
Well, the good news is we have the Mid-States corridor here.
They'll get you right to Braun's front door.
There's a canyon on I-70, Glenwood Canyon in
I thought you meant Henry County.
in western Colorado. When they got that done, that's when they said, "We've done it, guys.
Yeah,
we've connected the nation." IndyCar. This is sports, everybody. We are making the transition into sports. Bones.
I have some questions.
Okay,
I'm going to let you and Zach kind of nerd out here.
all right.
So the prize fund is what was last week's?
$40.
Oh, like the winning purse?
Yeah.
Oh, like nothing.
There's for the full time
$35,000
for the full time entrants. They are in a prize pool that goes to all the full time cars. So that money is spread out for those guys throughout the season, and they get like $1.5 million to run the
I
season.
think it's like almost up to 2.
Yeah, whatever that is.
They call it the winner's circle.
Okay,
Leader circle or whatever. So the actual winning cars might get like $10,000. Like it's not a lot of money for winning a regular race. It's not the Indy 500.
Okay, so that's my next question. So let's say Alex Palou.
Mm-hmm.
Is he under contract with Chip Ganassi?
Yes.
Does Chip Ganassi pay him more money?
That's a private contract, so that we don't get to see it. But theoretically, Alex Palou might be a weird situation, but theoretically,
he's indentured servant.
Theoretically, a driver might get 40% or half.
Yeah, they would have in their contract what percentage of the purse they would receive.
So say they made $3 million and they get half, the driver gets $1.5 million before Uncle Sam starts stealing money.
Okay. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out where all the money.
That's a much bigger deal for the Indy 500.
Where the money goes to. Okay, well let's say that we're talking Indy 500 then. What's the prize fund for that?
I think that normally it's like 10 to 15 million. They don't really announce it until the night of the awards after the race, because they calculate it based upon how ticket sales were and other things, prize pools, etc.
Okay.
So they don't really know what the purse is until at least it's not released publicly until the day after the race. Zach's going to look up what the 2025 purse was, though.
Well, I'm trying to look too, but yeah, they say for non-IndyCar races, it's around $30,000 to win Indy 500.
I'm just trying to figure out how the money of this all works, how drivers get paid, or
last year's purse was $20 million.
There you go. That's good money.
$20.2 million total, and Alex Palou, Chip Ganassi Racing, took home $3.8 million for his victory. But the fall is steep.
The top 3 or 4 drivers or teams really get paid well, and then it drops off.
Second place got $667,000.
So as I'm trying to understand this, the team gets the money,
yeah,
and then they pay Alex.
The entrant gets the money, which is usually the team owner.
So then DHL pays
the team as well
to be
on
the car.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out,
it's about $9 to $10 million to fund a car for the year. So that's what the sponsorship should be. And then in some situations, who was it that just said that they were real honest? They're like they drove for free. Oh, it was Kevin Lee talking about his son running a truck race. He's like he's not getting paid at all. They're paying for it. So there's all different. There's a bunch of the spectrum of what drivers are getting paid and how they're getting paid is wide, because there's some drivers that are bringing sponsorship and they're just getting a cut of that sponsorship, and the rest of it's going to the team, and the team's not paying them physically anything.
Marcus Ericsson won the Indianapolis 500 in 2022. I want to say 20. Yeah, he won it in 2022. He brought Husky Chocolate and that money to Chip Ganassi Racing when they won the 500. That's the perfect scenario for a car owner, because the driver is paying money to fund that car. So they're paying the money for that car to get on track and to go. You get drivers like Alex Palou now, or Pato O'Ward, Christian Lundgaard, who won last week. Those guys are getting paid to drive those cars professionally, and they're doing good. Estimates are $4 to $6 to $8 million is the really top end drivers, the kind of checks they're getting.
Okay.
Colton Herta was maybe making $10 million, but they said he was kind of getting paid F1 driver money to be at Andretti.
I think that he pulled up that. I think after him, I think a lot of drivers probably started getting paid more. I think he probably pulled the market up a little bit.
And then that kind of leads into my next question. F1 drivers versus IndyCar drivers.
Oh, F1 drivers make incredible. Some of them are paying to ride though. So some of the low end drivers are
Ride buyers.
100%. But at the top end, I think, did I see Charles Leclerc is making like $40 to $45 million a year?
It's a different stratosphere.
And he just collected he just bought like a $75 million yacht or something like that.
But the budgets are like NFL versus NBA D League. Like it's the money that the series have is totally different.
So then are we worried about just this being a farm league for
No,
F1?
No, because they don't respect IndyCar very well.
IndyCar is the pinnacle of formula racing for North America.
Okay.
Is essentially what it is. And it's the second largest professional racing series in North America. And that's what their goal is, to be a North American series. That's kind of where they position themselves.
Okay. Questions
Yeah.
I'm into the thing now.
Yeah,
So I
you're in
think
the fantasy league.
We are
I've
top
heard
15.
I've heard a lot of people that
Oh.
have had real juice about the IndyCar series this year and be like, what have I been missing? This is
The
fun.
numbers are up according to Fox.
Indy
This
last race
GP was a kick in the shins. But
this race, but it was a Saturday afternoon. The people are used to seeing you race on Sundays, not late in the afternoon on Saturday with nothing leading into it. They had, I think their lead in was like a USFL game or whatever the hell that
was.
is,
Yeah.
or UFL or whatever. That went
Louisville
late.
versus Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
So IndyCar budgets about $10 million a car. Prior cost cap F1's $125 to $135 million a year for a two-car team. Prior to the cost cap in 2021, they were spending $400 to $500 million per year.
Crazy money.
Crazy money.
Yeah. I feared it was crazy money. I just didn't know.
Crazy money.
So the Indy 500 sold out today. So if you want to sit in a seat, you need to have one already or find a friend that has a seat. The track says the grandstands are full. You can still buy a general admission ticket for now, but they are projecting that this will be the first time since 2016 that all of the general admission tickets also sell out. So if you want to go to the race, you've been kicking it around, go buy a GA ticket, and then you can get your actual seats for next year differently.
General admission just gets you in the infield.
Get you into the track, yeah.
Okay.
You can go, you can hang out and watch the race from the Pagoda Plaza. You can go to the viewing mounds. You can walk around on foot, but you're not getting into a grandstand. Now, halfway through the race, ain't checking tickets. You can get into the grandstand and find a place because there's people disappear. There are ways around it. A lot of folks are there just to watch the start of the race, and then the place is so big and there's so many different agendas going on that folks are, no matter what time it is in the race, there are people in the
Some
what you
people
would
don't
consider
even
the
make it to the
concourse.
start of the race.
Yeah, the concourse area is just crowded with people all the time.
People taking naps, random
Well, then there's
places.
the people at the snake pit, and the snake pit finishes up for the race ends, and those people just go streaming out.
That's just an EDM concert happening during the race.
Mhm.
It's getting expensive. I think that's an $85 ticket plus the $50 general admission. So to do the EDM concert, it's about $140.
More expensive than a lot of the race tickets.
So this weekend we just had the Grand Prix of Indianapolis. Zach, we got to spend the weekend together.
Yep.
We were excited. We were going to see a rainy qualifying run on Friday afternoon. The NXT cars, the AAA baseball version of Indy cars, finished up in the rain. We found ourselves a nice covered area to watch the qualifying happen. And they said, no, we're going to squeegee off pit road. And they did that for 20 minutes and they never got it right. And they said, well, now it's too wet. We have to give up, come back tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And a lot of drivers were unpleased that they didn't get a chance to qualify in the wet where somebody other than Alex Palou maybe might, coulda, woulda, shoulda won the pole and started first.
It's a great equalizer is what they think. Yeah. It would, because who knows how the cars would have been set up. And
I would just think you couldn't change, say you had a terrible qualifying Friday, you couldn't make any changes.
They still let them change all the cars.
they'll have to let them change a little bit because
you're not-
they literally run a different setup for the wet.
Yeah.
They'd have to let them do something. But they need to figure something out with that track because it was built without there ever needing to be a thought about running in the rain. And from sitting there, the front straightaway doesn't drain. I don't know where it would go. I've been down the front straightaway. I don't know where any water would go.
They legitimately need like trench drains.
Need trench drains along the pit wall.
Along
probably.
the wall,
Yeah.
and then have water pump away.
Yeah.
But it just pools up, and then nothing can happen.
And it's like, well, was do that? Well, like I said, the track was built with no intent of ever running in the rain. They don't run the oval in the rain. But because we could sit there, we're just sitting there watching, and every time the pace car go by, you're like, that's a crap ton of water coming off the back of that car. It was throwing up
They had a
cloud.
I mean, it might be a percentage 1% grade, I think.
there are nerds that'll tell you exactly what the grade of the corners is.
It's like 6 degrees in 12 minutes or something like that.
And then the front stretch, the same thing.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah. They had a puncher's chance if they got the cars out there. The cars produce enough downforce that it'll suck the water out and throw it up in the air and pull it out of the racing line.
Yeah, they could actually do that, yeah.
But they didn't ever get the cars going, so it never happened. So they qualified the next day. Alex Palou won the pole. Everybody said, okay, he's going to run away with the race. This is going to be boring. And then Alexander Rossi created the storyline of the weekend by having a hybrid system fail on his car. His car broke at the start-finish line directly in front of Zach and myself and the entire family. And we had a front row seat to Alex Rossi having a Kimi Räikkönen losing his mind moment where the car broke. At the track, I thought, I was listening to IndyCar radio. I thought I heard them call a full course caution. Apparently, the TV broadcast showed a full course caution. And if you watch the TV broadcast, they were cutting away to commercial. They had like the music playing of, hey, we're transitioning to commercial. And then they're like, oh shit, no, it's not a yellow. It's a local yellow. The flagman was waving a yellow flag. But if you looked further down the track, it was green. So it was a local yellow, which is something that IndyCar does for road courses. This is a road course.
It's a roval
of sorts, but they were on the oval portion of the track. Cars were traveling 175 miles an hour past Rossi's disabled car, and it was suboptimal. I kept thinking to myself, and this all happened. Rossi's car sat there for about 45 seconds before he got out of the car, held up his steering wheel. Like, come on, guys! I'm out of the car.
He had an entire nonverbal conversation with the flag stand, trying to get them to understand that he wasn't going anywhere.
The car's broken. These guys are ripping by me, and I'm in danger.
He's waving his steering wheel at them, and even my brain was not comprehending what was happening because I'm like, well, he's right there, and then 2 or 3 cars would blow by, and you're like, they're scooting like. They're so fast. If you're just looking at Rossi's car, you're not seeing whose car it is that's going by. Because if you're focused on Rossi's car,
it's just a blur.
It's just flashes. Yeah, because they're going 180, 170 miles an hour. He was holding the steering wheel up. Then his head popped up with the steering wheel. And then he just got out and was
climbed over the pit wall. There are actively pit stops happening.
Yes.
And he walks across as cars are ripping down pit road at 80 miles an hour.
Throws his hands up, which is when I was like, well, that's his Räikkönen moment. The only thing would have been good is if I think he left. He was home. I think before the end of the race was if they'd have seen him, if there was a hot tub or something somewhere, and then he'd have been obviously not participating anymore as a driver, and it was just checked out. But it was the video of him in the car. There's a good video in the car. It's on Twitter. It's 43 seconds long, and the car's already stopped at that point. And it's him with the steering wheel, and then even the camera even pans on his car over to him as he climbs over the pit wall and leaves. And then it was still another 45 seconds before a truck showed up.
So and by the time the truck got there, Rossi had...
he was long gone.
He had spawned to somewhere else. He was gone. He had been raptured from the race car.
I assume he's local.
He's from Indianapolis. Well, he's
from California, but he lives in Indianapolis.
Yeah, he lives here. A lot of the drivers make their homes in Indianapolis now, at least during the racing season, if not all year round. Zach, we go to Milwaukee. You go to Gateway. Those are ovals, but the front stretch is the same situation as what you have here. I couldn't imagine them at Milwaukee having a car broken down on the start-finish line, and then being like, "Yep, they're fine, just ripping by 175." Or Gateway, because that's the speeds they're doing.
Yeah,
and it's the same exact situation. It's not like he was pulled off in the grass. He's in the way.
I would even say it was worse with the road course, because the road course, the way that they handle the oval is they have a kind of a predictable line around, but they're not, unless they're trying to do something crazy, they're not going to get real low. But in this case, there are drivers that will go down that inside wall because they want to set up to get inside the guy to pass into one. And there's no conceivable way that they were going to get his car off the track without a full course yellow because they were going to have to drive a truck out there. And they don't. A local yellow is normally a car slid off, it's out of the way, and it can be recovered, or the driver can exit without any danger to anybody else.
It's going to clear itself.
It's going to clear itself, or it's out of the way, and they can. This was not that. You can't clear a car off the front straightaway at Indianapolis without a tow truck. Yeah, well, I believe his steering wheel being held out was his indication the car is dead. I'm not restarting the car. The steering wheel is no longer attached to the car. And because the way that he would have restarted it would have been with the hybrid system. The hybrid's dead, so he's not going anywhere. And this is a series that prides itself on the quick response of the emergency crews. But when you do a local yellow on the front straightaway, they couldn't go out there.
Here's
bizarre.
Here's my thing. And I think IndyCar changed the rule on Monday.
Yeah.
To say now we're not going to hold cautions. We're just going to throw a yellow when we have to throw a yellow. They've tried to keep the pits open because cars were pitting and it can affect the strategy. And this ultimately, Kyle Kirkwood and Alex Palou had not made their pit stops yet, so they got buried in the field. To me, if it's bad enough to throw a caution 5 minutes later, it's bad enough to throw the caution now. If a driver's in danger in 5 minutes, he's in danger now. Throw the damn yellow, move on. Those are the breaks. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's
part of
the
racing.
Randomness of racing, and it's what happens. They've swallowed the whistle for 5 or 6 years, and it's continued to become a situation where you have less yellows. Yellows are good for competition. That's why NASCAR has competition cautions, a couple, the stage breaks or whatever they are. If there's a reason you could have a yellow and it's not you didn't really need a yellow, then throw the damn yellow. It's good. It mixes the racing up, and it makes road and street course racing more exciting.
So as my understanding is IndyCar, I'm in IndyCar 101 here. That caution or lack thereof caused probably Alex and Kyle the race to a degree, I would think.
Yeah. Well, and it might have. What happens is if they're in the middle of and it was in this race, I think had pretty big pit windows, but there's a window of time when from this lap to this lap, they're probably going to make their first stop, and then the next window, and it was the middle of the window, and what people like Alex will do and Scott Dixon can do is they'll go longer than everybody else. And they used to call it the danger zone. Well, they try not to, when they throw a full course yellow, they close the pits. And so they don't like to do that. And then it hangs somebody out, or they have to, and so they try not.
Because you end up behind all the other cars that are already pitted.
So, but at the same time, you have to, when you try not to meddle in the race, you meddle in the race. You're like meddling because you're manipulating how you're officiating.
There are other cars that were gambling on a caution coming out. They pit early, hoping a caution does come out, and then everybody else ends up behind them. That's the strategy of the game.
So why would pits be closed?
They don't. That's a great question because they debate that. I think it's a safety thing. They want them all coming in at once, and they don't want like a bum rush. I'm assuming, or I don't, because they've debated whether or not they want to do that
in
or
North
not.
America.
Yeah,
it's a North American thing. There was an era where they used to have a pacer light system where you had to go a certain speed under yellow and you kept the gap you had on the racetrack. Now, and it's a competition thing.
Thanks, Uncle Bobby.
When you have, you can look up the 1981 Indy 500. Now, when you have a caution, everybody packs up together and then you get a restart and you have an opportunity for passing. So it creates more competition. So the way that the race procedure works, pits are closed under a caution, everybody packs up together, and then they open pit road and all of the cars get to pit at one time. That's just how it goes.
I have one last question.
Yep.
For the beginner. So they were talking about the hard and soft tires.
Yes.
Do they only do that for road courses?
Yes.
Okay.
Currently.
Road and street courses.
Did they do it for a short oval?
They've played around with it.
Around it, yeah.
They have done that on occasion, but generally speaking, those are road course rules.
So the 500, we'll see just one tire.
Nope. You get 15 cents of Firestones, or 35 for the month. Probably going to use 10 to 15 for the race, and it is what it is.
Okay.
They're supposed to be, the soft tires are supposed to not last as long, but be faster. The primary is just supposed to be a slightly slower but more durable tire. But this year, they're really close to each other. Because last year, the Reds, the soft tires were like,
they'd go to crap after
they go
like
to crap
5 laps.
after like 5 laps. Like so, team like if you had a quick caution in like we had a lap 1 caution at Indy GP, you'd have cars come in.
Lap 1 caution. We had a turn 1.
Turn 1, yeah, but like you would have cars that start on the alternate soft tires. They would come in on lap 1 and just pitch them and go right to the primaries because like we don't want to be on this tire. And they're like, we can't be doing that anymore. So
Felix that day woke up and chose chaos.
Clint Weaver says Asheville's in good shape. By the way, he was there in January. There is still evidence south of town of damage.
Okay.
Yeah, Felix Rosenquist took out his bestie. Pato Award in
it was intentional because he and Pato were buddies.
They're pals going back to the McLaren days.
That turn 1 on a road course is always just a gamble and chaos.
Winner was Christian Lundgaard. His personal assistant was a guest of the show 2 summers ago. We had Victor Peterson was here. And he spent 2 years as the personal assistant to Christian. And when he won at Detroit, he became TV famous. He was his buddy, and they put him on the pit crew and the whole thing. So this is his first win since he joined McLaren. Only the second driver to win since McLaren's come back to IndyCar. Pato Award had won, and now Christian Lundgaard has won for them. Only 3 drivers in the history of McLaren have won. Johnny Rutherford is the other one for IndyCar. They pretend like anything before the
Schmidt, the
Schmidt-Peterson era, David Hamilton, and all those people. None of them exist. So, as far as they're concerned,
they're all dead.
Simon Pagenaud and James Hinchcliffe never won for them.
Did you see where our sports worlds are crossing over? Sports and golf.
No, what's happening?
McLaren has came out with a set of irons.
I did see that there were some people that got. I think Will Buxton. Has been gifted a set of the McLaren.
How much are
clubs.
McLaren golf clubs?
$12,000. I'm going to say $12,000.
Hopefully, they're a little bit more durable than McLaren cars.
The cars are interesting.
If you buy a McLaren, does it come with a free set of golf clubs?
You would think, but probably not.
Probably after your 3rd oil change.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. That
are they carbon?
No.
It should be carbon.
Does anybody make a carbon golf club?
Paying for a logo. So this weekend is the Indianapolis 500 qualifying. The race practice has been happening all week as in 2 days so far. There's 2 more days of practice. Tomorrow being Thursday is the last day with regular boost, and then Fast Friday is the day that they all go to qualifying, extra engine horsepower. And then Saturday and Sunday is the qualifying that's going to be happening. New rules this year. There's 33 cars, so it's going to take us. Zach appears to have had a price. I
am looking at the McLaren Golf merch website, and holy cow, it's F1 money.
It is not for people that live in the 47362 zip code.
No, it is not.
I just thought maybe these would go along with Force's McLaren. Be everyone to take off golf.
No joke.
Give us some items, Zach.
Okay, umbrella, $85.
That's not bad.
Hats, $65. There's one hat that's $40. The rest of them are $65 to $100 for baseball caps.
Sure,
that's a little high.
That's a little, yeah.
That's double what it should be.
Gloves, $40, which probably seems not that bad. How much? Okay, high. Golf bag. What's a good golf bag cost, Forrest?
Where's Forrest?
Not Forrest. Bones.
Good golf bag, $200.
$495.
That's not bad.
Embossed towel, $55. Golf club head covers are $60. $160. I mean,
$160 a cover
per cover. Putter.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, wait, how many clubs you carry?
14.
So you're looking at
people only cover their.
Yeah.
A lot of people only cover the wood.
Cover all 14. You're going to get made fun of.
How many do you cover normally?
4.
Yeah.
So you're looking at $600 just for golf head covers.
Yeah.
You might cover your putter and 3 woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good golly.
See, I've got some knowledge.
I mean, like I went to F1 races back in the day when they came to Indiana.
Don't know shit about the Grateful Dead, but I know you cover your wood once in a while.
And
if you're classy,
merch was so expensive back in the day. It was $65 T-shirts in 2002.
Well, I mean, golf merch is already high up there because I don't know why.
I just saw a $100 baseball cap, and I was like,
That's out there.
Yeah, and the clubs are $375 per club.
That's not too bad.
Friday, 68 degrees, 40% chance of rain.
I think in the morning when I looked.
I think we're going to run race cars there.
Yeah.
Saturday, 75, 60% chance of rain.
I didn't see that. I'm just going to choose to
Sunday, 85 degrees, 24% chance of rain. With those numbers, I know we're qualifying cars this weekend, but I also think there's a plausible chance we're going to end up sitting around waiting on a track to drive for a portion of the time we're supposed to be watching race cars. They qualify from 11 until 5:50 on Saturday, and then on Sunday we are dragging out qualifying 15 cars, which we really only need to qualify 9 cars. It's going to take them like 6 hours to qualify the same damn cars.
So if there's a delay with your tickets, you can just walk back to the camper. And hang
On
out.
those days, you just
Yep.
stamp your hand, go back out, and we will
Don't even stamp my hand if I got a bronze badge.
Yeah.
Just wandering out.
come and go as you please.
Just curious.
We are as prepared as anybody to deal with rain in our world. Now sometimes we're a little. I don't know where we'll choose to sit this time, Zach. We might be down in turn 1. We might be at the start finish line, depending upon what the crew feels like. But we generally try. This is my favorite weekend of the year. Of the
I
qualifying.
went last year. I had a blast.
Because you just chill with the crew, and you sit there, you talk, you tell jokes, you get excited as a group, and you got all your you just got like 3 rows of the stadium, the very top, best seats in the house, the ones that would cost $500 on race day, and you're up there for next to nothing.
I think turn 1 would have been kind of fun.
Turn 1 is cool too.
Yeah.
Turn 1's cool, but you don't see the cars coming down. Like if you're at the start finish line, you see them taking the photos after they make the race. You see the reaction. You see all of the human element of it. If you sit down in turn 1, you do get to see the cars ripping at speed around the corner, which is beautiful, and that's where you want to be during the race. Like turn 1 penthouse is like that's the 35-year seats.
Yeah.
Memorial
Day.
Yeah. I'd asked my wife. We are at 10 years of seniority with our seats this year, which means now we're at the point where we could start to like, hey, I want to bump up and move to some more premium areas. She likes our seats. We like the people we sit around. We're good. I don't think we're moving. Memorial Day weekend, Indy 500, Coke 600. Catherine Legg made the announcement last night that she will be attempting the double.
Good for her.
Double.
I like Catherine.
It's been attempted, I think, by 6 people so far. John Andretti, Robbie Gordon, Kurt Busch,
Kyle Larson.
Tony Stewart, Kyle Larson.
This would be the first one with a certain chromosome.
She would be the first woman to do this. She's not in great equipment for either race.
Ooh.
No.
She's not in good equipment.
There
are 41 cars entered for the Charlotte race. They qualify the Saturday before the Indy 500 at mid-afternoon. I don't know if she can make it there in time or not, or if somebody will have to qualify the car for her, or if she skips the parade. I don't know. I feel like the parade's a big part of the adventure as for a driver, but there's going to be 1 car going home in Charlotte, and I think she's one of the 2 entries that I would circle and be like, they're one of the ones I'd be worried about. The 66 and the 78. She's in the 78 car. Her sponsor's paying for both. Elf
Cosmetics.
Do you remember the HER car? Alex Lloyd drove the HER car for Ganassi. It was an energy drink.
Not really.
This is like
I think of Alex
2010.
Lloyd and I think of the Boy Scouts of America.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
That was for Dale Coyne, though, wasn't it?
It was Coyne. Yeah, yeah. There was I think it was the number 99 HER car. So every time I think of Catherine Legg, the elf stuff reminds me of the HER car, which was some fly-by-night energy drink that was marketed towards women. Do you think the double still makes sense? Like, does this, I guess it's good for her sponsor, but I don't.
He helps her sponsor. I don't.
If you're not in good equipment, I just don't know how much it accomplishes.
Yeah. If you're not really, I mean, depending on, especially in IndyCar, this isn't as much the case. I do think this is the case in Cup. I don't watch Cup that often, but I think that the backmarker teams in Cup, a lot of times just don't even finish. They're out there. They're not starting parks, but they'll get as far as they can, and something will go tragically wrong with the car and it will fail. And those cars don't exist in IndyCar. They're not cars that are just going to go out there and blow up. So it's kind of a bummer, like, oh, we're going for the double. And you're like, yeah, she's probably going to get like 750 miles out of 1,100. You don't know how that's going to work. But I like Catherine. I was surprised to see that announcement because there had been no word of her doing that. She's been doing some cup driving, but there have been no word of her doing the doubles.
Yeah, there was no rumor of it happening.
No, it was not. No,
Is she the only woman participant this year?
Yes.
Okay.
The pipeline of women has been limited.
it is dried up. They go to cup. A lot of times they go up and they find that they can just make more money. And then the ones we had, we kind of didn't stop coming around. I couldn't get rides. So, because none of them have been in good equipment.
One of the best ones is a bobsled racer now.
Yeah. Simone Di Silvestro is running.
She was an Olympian.
Yeah.
Mr. Bones, you will not be here next week.
I will not.
I need you to go on the record with your Indy 500 winning pick and your dark horse.
Okay.
And Zach and I will reject a dark horse that we do not. We'll give you the Mike McCown rule of you can't have, a certain drivers. We're going to be like, that is not a dark horse. So I want you to, if you need to consult the list, you've been curating these things, playing fantasy IndyCar for 2 years now. So you know the drivers' names. Give me your winning pick and your dark horse pick.
2 seconds.
Okay. Zach, be prepared.
I don't think he'll come up with any dark horses the way Mike does. Mike really tries to cheat it.
Be prepared to rule no on one of these things.
Mike could be like, Joseph Newgarden's my dark horse.
He hasn't won in over a year.
Winner? Pato Award.
Good pick.
Dark horse? Graham Rahal.
That is a dark horse. That's a good.
Graham's had a pretty good year.
I think they're doing better.
Graham's had 2 podiums, but
they've been really they're rough at Indy, and hopefully they'll find their way out of it. But he was on the podium over the weekend. They've had a rough go at Indy. He got bumped a couple years ago, 2 years ago,
something like that.
Jeremiah just threw a safety deposit to ching. but yeah, Grant. If they give him a decent car, that guy can race.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
All right. Pato Award's a good pick. He's honestly the guy I've been thinking as well. You listen to an interview with Tony Kanaan. He talks about how much he wants to get Pato Award a win at the Indy 500. Which I'm like, dude, you have 3 other entries, but he just talks about Pato as being his number one focus.
Yeah. Well,
McLaren very clearly has a number one.
Yes.
And they are not afraid to be like, oh no, Pato's number one. He's
Which
the
is
guy
funny
we care
because
about.
their F1 team just almost screwed the pooch last year because they refused to pick a number one. And that's because it's a very F1 thing. You have a number one, you have a number two. And the number two's job is to support the number one driver. And they refused to an F1 and almost screwed themselves. But to have it be very clear, although I think that it's going to get foggy if Christian Lundgaard keeps getting better and better. But Pato's good. And if you listen to the trackside, you listen to the Kurt Cavan Academy of who can be a contender or not, he thinks you have to have been in a battle for the win. And Pato has been there a couple times. He's been.
Kurt Cavan doesn't remember the 2000 Indy 500, does he?
Or the 2016
or the 2001 Indy 500.
Yeah,
2016's fluky. That one.
I know, but there are people like Dan Weldon wasn't in a battle to win him. Like sometimes the winner is just straight up the winner. They just beat everybody. They don't have to be a battle.
Give it up to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway too. You could go watch every 500 race.
I think one of the smartest things that they've ever done, and it's one of those things you see like some artists do, is to maintain ownership of your broadcasts and or your content. And the Indianapolis Motor Speedway has done a good job of that.
If you want to go back and nerd out and watch qualifying from 1991, man, it's there.
Yeah.
And they're great. It's compelling stories. It doesn't matter. It's like watching the Olympics, Bones. You can turn it on and ESPN back in the day would paint the picture of, hey, this guy built this car himself, or this person, they had this horrific accident 2 years ago and now they're back at Indianapolis. Back in the day when you were qualifying, you could only qualify a car. You had 3 attempts on a car and then it was dead and you had to go find another car.
When I was a kid, the 2 largest single day sporting events in the world, number 1 was the Indianapolis 500 and number 2 was pole day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They would get over 100,000 people for pole day. People would be rushing the gates to get a parking spot inside the fence in the infield because around all the grandstands around, which they've taken a bunch of the grandstands out to be parked along the fence to watch, or to get your seat and you'd see pictures and the front straightaway would be packed.
I fell asleep the other day watching. What year did Marco lose?
2006.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
I don't know why Zach's laughing.
I fell asleep
Because I knew the
watching
year,
that.
or because he likes Marco's
No,
failure?
I mean, like, to be that close your first year, and then that's as close as you ever got. That's 20. He did another 20 years.
His car came off turn 4, and it looked like the parachute was pulled. Sam Hornish just pulled him down the straightaway.
That's it.
It was incredible.
You want to talk about, like, I saw a thing today of, like, butterfly effect. Marco wins that, and there's a lot of things that would have changed. There's a great amount of change that would have happened in the sport had Marco won that 500. I'm not a super Marco fan, so yeah, I chuckle.
There's 2 butterfly effects, 2006 and 2011.
Yeah.
If J.R. Hildebrand wins the Indy 500 and Dan Weldon doesn't,
Oh yeah.
Dan Weldon is probably not killed in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that are just like, yeah.
And Dan Weldon's son was racing. His youngest, that was the thing. He was racing over the weekend in whatever USF 2000 or whatever USF Pro. I can't keep the naming structure for the Road to Indy makes no sense, and I don't keep track of it that well. But he's the one that was like months old when his dad won the second 500.
Who's the dude that? Oh, Paul Tracy. If he wins that 500, he doesn't make the comment about Danica's feet.
No,
Well,
he still does.
The funny thing with him is that
He still
he
does.
still does.
He's still.
The funny thing is if you talk to him, he did win the 500. And like I think it's probably in his profile description that he's the winner.
Bones, in the last
500.
40 years, there are 45 years, there are 2 Indy 500s that are controversial, and who won them? 1981 and 2002. We're due for another shitstorm.
2002 Indy 500, 2020 U.S. presidential race. Kind of the same thing.
No, I know who won the 2020 race very clearly. The 2002 Indy 500 also had politics because you had a full-time car versus a champ car. There was a lot going on there. Final thoughts, Mr. Zach Burcham? Anything we want to talk about that we forgot?
Not really. I'm tired.
This is a busy month. And it's a wonderful month, but we are on Wednesday because you've been coaching track. You had stuff Tuesday. You had stuff Wednesday. I'm sorry.
I was in attendance at a track meet and support on Monday. I had a track meet last night. I have a track meet tomorrow night. And then
You got to get your camper ready for Friday.
I got water in it.
We got to meet meet up at 6 a.m.
We were a little
Friday
late
morning.
going today because I got my hair cut. Because at this one time I could get it done was like at 7 o'clock. Trying to get there at 6:45 or whatever. Yeah, this next 2 weeks has gotten even busier than my normal 2 weeks of chaos.
All good things.
Yeah,
Pure bliss, right? Though, just pure bliss.
yeah. It's fun, but I'll be happy when I can sleep in. So
Mr. Bones, enjoy your trip.
I'll enjoy the trip. I'll send pictures.
Don't forget to set your IndyCar fantasy lineup.
It's already set
for the Indianapolis 500.
It's already set.
You're already set?
I
Are
got
they
a
not-
started driver.
You got
Are they
a
not
double
doing
driver?
they're not doing fantasy pick for quals?
I don't think so. Since they went to the Grid Rivals thing, they don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah, they
It's like,
didn't.
ooh,
They
I might
didn't do it
do-
last year because I kept hoping or wondering, hey, are they going to add the full time the one off guys? They don't, which is weird as well. But yeah, the one off guys are not included.
You
It's
can't
just the
pick
full-
Connor Daly?
Nope.
Yikes.
Nope. Only
So,
full time
I
drivers.
can only start 3 drivers.
There are 3 to choose from. Yeah,
Yep.
because you'd be like under $12 million or whatever.
No, under 20 million, I think. I want to start either Felix, Graham, or Colette.
Ooh, God.
No,
Bro, Felix probably, but Felix has had horrific luck.
yeah. When he is on, he can be very good there. But he also was involved in an accident that took out a woman's car because a tire cleared the fence.
There was a Felix Rosenquist, his on the Krylon today, 6 Indy 500 starts, 2 finishes in the top 5, but his average finishing position is like 18.2.
Yeah.
So let's go with Graham.
Graham could finish 31st,
Or he could
finish 5th.
Or 12th.
or first. He's my dark
If he won, yeah, I mean that is an incredibly
If Graham
that is a legit dark horse pick.
If Graham Rahal wins the Indianapolis 500, he retires in victory lane, and Connor Daly takes over the seat.
You think
yeah, I
so?
can see that. I can see him retiring for sure.
Or Yuri Vips.
Man, they've had Yuri Vips on the back burner for like it feels like 12 years. It feels like so long they've had Yuri Vips. Like only the diehards even remember Yuri Vips, but they've had him as their reserve driver or backup driver or whatever for
what if you get
Is
Wally
Helio-
pipped by Yuri Vips?
Is Helio got a ride?
Elio.
No, Elio, yes.
Elio.
And then Takuma?
All the regulars are back, man.
Here's the bizarre thing about Rahal Letterman Lanigan Racing. So they've had a rough couple years, except for Takuma Sato. He might as well be.
He sticks that bitch on the pole no matter what it is.
In the front row. Yeah, the one year they're like, literally the two Rahal Letterman Lanigan cars were bumping each other, just running to bump each other. And where's Sato? He's in the Fast 9.
He might have been in a coin car that year.
Was he? It doesn't matter though.
He's always in a fast
You can
Honda.
stick him in whatever it is. Yeah, it's a Honda, and he's
He full sends.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no attack, no chance. And there's you want to see, and he's people you want to not like him sometimes because he's a little crazy. He wrecks a lot sometimes.
Used to.
But you see an interview. They interviewed him this week or this month, and they asked him because he was finished. He was on the podium in F1 with Michael Schumacher, and then now is racing on the same team as Mick Schumacher, his son. They ask him about it, and he gives a great answer. But you have to respect the fact that this dude has been rolling around in the highest forms of motorsports for 25 years.
Scott Dixon has been racing Indy cars for 25 years.
Yeah.
Men, as they age, their earlobes just continue to, they never stop growing.
Yeah.
The same thing happens with Takuma Sato's hat. If you watch, it's like Pinocchio. His hat brim gets longer and longer.
Well, it's because they have to put more sponsors on it.
Yes.
He's got more sponsors on his hat.
Every Japanese corporation is on Takuma Sato's
There
hat.
have to be hundreds of feet of thread on his hat in embroidered logos.
He's got 2 500 victories, right?
Yes.
Could have had 4.
He's in the shot. He's one of those guys that they take a picture of the winner crossing the yard of bricks, and Sato's just always there.
He very nearly won in 2012. He had the kamikaze move inside of
Dario
Franchitti and crashed in turn 1. That would have been his first. He won in 2017. He won in 2020. And he had another one where he was right there in the shot in the top 3. So yeah, he's a monster.
And they won't talk about him all month and all day, and then it gets to about the last 20 laps. And damn it, there's Takuma Sato just stalking behind. He's so good there.
Nobody expected that from his career. When he arrived in IndyCar 2009, he wrecked the Pretty Lotus. He was Tony Khan's teammate, and it was like, God, he ruined that car. Yeah, and now
He worked a lot in F1 too, but he's aggressive.
Legend. Time will tell.
It's 0 or 100 with
Wreckers or checkers. He's gotten a lot better about the wreckers part. Like this 2012.
Now he did destroy his car in testing last year. Brand new car that it was tested first day of testing.
And what did it matter though?
Trash heap.
What did it matter?
They bought another brand new Dallara, built it, still front row. He was fine. Like the man is incredible. He reminds me of Arie Luyendyk. Arie Luyendyk is probably the closest parallel in the not a legendary IndyCar career, but in Indianapolis, just absolute stud. That's where I'm at. Monday night next week, so we'll have just a couple days, and we'll be back in the studio again. Mike McCown will be back with us. Forrest Plank is scheduled to be with us. Zach Burcham, myself. Maybe we find another guest host or two. We'll see.
Just an all-star character.
Just race night. It's a tradition. We'll wear some old T-shirts, little old merch, and have ourselves some fun. We'll see you guys next week. Say hi to your Uncle Bobby.